The Samsung Galaxy A07 is finally here, and honestly, I expected it to be just like every other A0 series phone. Cheap, boring, and terrible value for money. But to my surprise, this phone comes with some upgrades that actually make it stand out. In fact, some of these features are so good, they make other phones at the same price point look lazy. And the final upgrade is something I don't think you'd ever expect to find on a budget phone at all. So in this video, I'll walk you through each of them one by one, explain why they matter, and by the end, you'll see exactly why this A07 is not like the rest. So let's talk about the first upgrade. One thing that has bothered me about Samsung's phones is how they are copying Apple to be eco-friendly, and that means that their top tier S25 Ultra down to the cheapest ones don't come with any accessories in the box. It's just like buying a house and it doesn't come with windows, and the seller says it's because there needs to be fresh air. But with this Galaxy A07, Samsung is finally giving us a chance to get more accessories in the box. Don't be too happy yet, a lot of the phones will still come with that minimalistic packaging. But Samsung assures that the early buyers of this phone would get a few extras such as a protective case and, will you believe it, a charger which supports this phone's 25-watt fast charging. I know that's quite impressive, but trust me, it's nowhere as impressive as the last upgrade which they brought. And if you are enjoying this video, kindly leave a like to support the channel and also smash that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you. Now, the next upgrade isn't really somewhat of an upgrade to the current budget market, but it's a huge improvement to Samsung users. Looking at the display, it's undeniable that Samsung makes the best screens in the world. They have been leading in this aspect for years, and a lot of companies even rely on Samsung to make screens for them. And surprisingly, it's just the same with their sub-$100 budget phones. Whilst most similarly priced phones come with decent looking IPS displays, Samsung ditched that for their own custom-made PLS panels, which look way better. However, the problem was that their screens sucked when it came down to the refresh rates. Most phones now come with 120Hz, while Samsung still stuck with 60Hz, and it doesn't make sense to me at all. However, with the A07, they have chosen to bump up the refresh rate to a much smoother 90Hz, and even if 120Hz is still technically faster, you can barely tell the difference when you put them side by side. Now we're moving on to the third upgrade, and it's just outright ridiculous what Samsung has just done here. So let's talk about it. You should probably know by now that One UI, which they developed, is one of the most intuitive, most stable software skins ever made. However, unlike the flagship which can support a mind-boggling 7 years of software updates, these cheap ones usually supported 2 or 3. But with the A07, Samsung decided to take it to a whole new level with 6 years. You heard that right, with 6 years of software support, which is unheard of, especially with a phone so budget focused. That means it can go from Android 15, which the phone currently comes with, all the way to Android 21. And that's crazy. Now, it's on to the final upgrade, and this is where things get really interesting.
Okay.
Even though Samsung literally owns the Android market with their reputation for speed and reliability, their budget phones haven't really given me the same vibe. When it came to performance, Samsung A0 series usually came out a draw, and in some cases, worse than the competition. However, I guess Samsung were like, we dominate the flagships, why don't we dominate the budget segment as well? And that's to guarantee that not only better performance, but a performance so good, others will look like they're not even trying. And so even though the competition comes with the MediaTek Helio G81, which is the standard top performer at this price, Samsung decided to go for the Helio G99, which is a chipset found on those twice the price. And it's crazy that you'll be getting similar performance to phones which are not even in the same league. And that will also confirm lesser lags, faster uploading times, as well as better gaming. But this is all just my take on the massive upgrades. To check out the full review where I break down everything you need to know about this phone, click the card on the screen right now and I'll tell you all about it.